share your screen, you can do that. So the idea is creating the AWS account. All of you know that, right? I believe many of you have idea. I do have account in AWS, but I'll just quickly show you how to create one more. Yeah, yeah. So first thing you can see, whenever you anyone would like to start with AWS, so these are the steps we should follow, and this is the link to do the AWS registration. Okay, so I'll just share you this link, and you can start from there. Okay, sign up for ADS, AWS. Okay, and what do you need right now? If you want to create AWS account, you need these details, right? So all these details, like prerequisites, either a credit or debit card, and then mail ID, mobile number, PAN card, and address. I believe all of you have this right with you. So, and what do we do right now? How many of you have AWS account, friends? If not, I'll just go step by step so that you can create. Oh, does everyone of you have AWS account? Okay. If not, we can just create it. It just take a couple of minutes to create AWS account, because without which it will be quite difficult for you to understand AWS and to practice AWS. But so this is, we have free tier. You can go with the free tier, and then you can create that free tier AWS account. Okay. So that would be very much helpful for us. So these are the requirements. So if you want to start creating AWS, I'll just bring in the chart. Okay. Mhm. Sorry, friends. So these are the requirements if you want to create any AWS account. Next, after that, so this is the link you have to use to create or to register for AWS. Okay, just copy and paste it to you. You can also start. I'll share that PDF in the group as well, so that you can use that PDF in case if you cannot immediately create account. Okay. So then after that, here right. So we are creating account from root user. Sorry, account for root user. Okay, that's always good to have a root user, so we can start creating that. So first thing is your email ID, whichever you want to create for that. Okay, that is one thing. And then account name. What should be your account name? That is another thing. Okay. So you can start with that. Okay. Just a minute. Yeah, friends, let's continue. I just brought my credit card just to show you how to create this account. Okay, so I have an account, a new account created to show you this sign up process. Okay, so you just pass your root email ID here, whichever you want to make it as a root one. Just uh, declare that email ID here. Okay, enter that email ID, and then here account name. Account name you can provide as you like. Just a minute. I'm just stop sharing just for a quick minute. Yeah, I'm re-sharing back. Okay, you can see that. I just put it as a Nomi Papa. Okay, I am adding my two things, a name and as well as initial this thing here. So this is the first step. So once we do that, we have to verify this email address. It will send a link to your emails. Okay, that's what you have to do. So just start doing with this step. Okay. Once that is done, I have to go and check my Gmail thing. Okay. And again, I'm just stop sharing just to make sure that I get that link and open that. Okay. That verification, all of you know that, right? What to do? Once you go to your email, log into that email, and then you can see here. Actually, I directly it's open, so I don't need to worry much about other things. You can see here, I got the link, and then come here. You can take this verification code. Okay, I just got it at 11:30. What you have to do? Copy this verification code, or just you can just read that and come here and paste it here. Okay, that's what you have to do. This is the first step. All of you are clear, right? So if anyone is doing, I can guide you otherwise. Anyone don't have account and if you want to create account, you can screen share me. I can guide you each step. Shall we do that or else? Anyhow, I have an account for me. That's fine. No? Yes or no? So, okay, Venkatesh and have. How about Srikanth? Srikanth, do you have AWS account?
No,
Uh,
no,
if
I
you
don't.
all the sorry,
I
would
don't
you
have.
like
I don't have.
would you like to create one, Srikanth? It's actually a
Yeah,
free
but I
tech.
have connected through my. I have
Sorry.
connected through my phone. That's right.
Oh,
I
you are
connected through my phone.
okay. Should be fine. Then how about Sharath,
Yeah.
Sharan, and then Harish? How about you? And then Rajashekar? How about all of you?
So I already have one account.
Super. Okay. Then Sharath, you have account?
Yes, sir.
So just ping me here, friends. If everyone has account, I'll go with this step so that at least that would be helpful for new learners for doing this AWS, creating this AWS account. Sharon have, Raja have, and then Harish have. Sham, do you have AWS account? I think these days, I think most of us
Yeah.
might have. Yeah. Okay. Then that should be good for us. Okay. Then I believe I will skip this as we have document. We can share it to the people. So if anyone has account, Srikanth, you can correct me. I can show you how to create this AWS account, or I can help you how to create AWS account. Is that fine, Srikanth?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So, or anyone else, if you want any help with creating AWS account, yeah, I can guide you. That won't be you can connect me anytime. It's not like it should be in the class time. Okay. Okay. But the only thing is if I am not outside and I am in at home, that's all. Okay. Let's get to the point now. So let me start logging in. Then what we do is if we have that today, what we do is we'll create an EC2 instance and we understand different things about EC2. And then we try to update some kind of security, this thing, all that, and see. Okay. And also, we'll just install a simple web server and test it and how to access all that. We'll do that today. Okay. So now, so when you want to start with AWS, once you are done with AWS, these are different certifications you can do. Foundation level certifications or associate level. You have different associate level certificates here. You can try this actually once you are comfortable with AWS. Okay. Next, after that, some specialty certifications are there. If you are interested, you can do those as well. Fine. Now let's get into the EC2 then, because now we are going to go and start creating EC2 instance. What is this EC2, right? So simple, friends. If you want to EC2 is something which is like a machine, like creating a virtual machine, simply speaking. Right? Instead of having a physical laptop, EC2 helps us to create a virtual laptop, right? Where you can host websites or web applications, run backend servers and APIs. You can also work with machine learning and model training. And you can also install custom software without having your own hardware. Okay. And you can also create test and development environments. Not only this, you can create many more things in EC2 because EC2 is a virtual machine. Inside virtual machine, you know, right? You can create whatever you want. So that's what the advantage with the EC2. And the abbreviation of EC2 is Elastic Compute Cloud, right? That's what the meaning of that. We'll talk more about it. Okay. So then now the question is, what is a server? So just a quick basics. Most of you know this. So generally server means it's a machine where we connect through a client and then we deploy many applications in that server, right? A server is a powerful computer which provides data, service, or programs to other computers called clients. Generally, we connect client and server connection happens over a network that can be intranet or internet. Okay. And examples of servers are like web servers, data servers, database servers, file servers. There are many more things. Okay. And these are few examples. Of course, there are many servers and we can just see few of those here. Web servers, database servers, file and application servers, mail servers, game servers, all this stuff. Okay. This is fine. This is only just to have a quick idea. Next one, what is a virtual machine? Right? Instead of physical machine, on top of a physical machine, what do? We can create virtual machine same as your machine with all that OS and with all that RAM and hard disk capacity, everything. Right? And you can create a separate machine so that we can run two different environments in this virtual machine come physical machine. So simply speaking, what is virtual machine means? What is that? It is a software-based emulation of a physical computer. Generally, these virtual machines have OS, and also it can have applications like just like physical computer. Whatever physical computer has, we can have everything in the virtual machines. But the advantage is, if you want to have different environments in the same machine, you want Linux and Windows operating system. Again, you want to have one more environment with Linux operating system and Mac operating system or Solaris operating system. For each one, you can create one virtual machine, even in your personal laptop as well as. And you can create virtually, you might have one or two machines, and physically, you might have one machine. Likewise, you can create three machines based on the availability of your RAM capacity, hard disk capacity. You got it right. Nowadays, all laptops are coming with huge capacities. You can create that as well. Okay, fine. So that is virtual machine. And we can connect multiple virtual machines, create multiple virtual machines, something called using something called hypervisor. Okay, that's fine. But we are not focusing much on this. Okay, but the focus is on EC2 here. Now, next one. Now, what coming to the what is Amazon EC2? As name says, right? This is what Amazon EC2 is. We call this as Elastic Compute Cloud, which is a web service. And what it does, it provides secure, reliable compute capacity in the cloud. So what, and then it allows users to run virtual server. Just now we say, right, we can create multiple virtual machines using EC2. And based on that, you can choose what the kind of operating system you want to create and the kind of applications you want to deploy into that or install into that and the kind of databases you want to install into that. All that is your choice. You got it right. So that is the idea of EC2. This is a very core service of AWS EC2, right? So, and without this, you cannot expect the cloud happening, efficiently. So, because that is the importance of EC2 here. It is a very core service. Most of the time we need this. We have to build things from this itself. Okay, because if you want to create any machine, EC2 is the something very important core service. You got it right. And these are the steps to launch it EC2 service once you log into the root user. You got it right. So what are those steps, sir? So to create EC2 instance, we have to log into the AWS management console. We'll see that. You understand, right? So we are going to see that. Okay, anyone just joined a bit late? You can just this is the very beginning. Okay. Anyhow, you have a recording. I'll share you after the session today. You can go through that. So now you have to follow these steps, friends. Anyhow, I put every step while I create EC2 so that you can follow that. So now what do you have to do? Log into AWS Management Console and then go to EC2 dashboard and then click on launch instance and then choose AMI. AMI instance, Amazon machine image, what is that and how to create that? This session is going to give you a clear picture about that. Okay, so that's what it is. Select instance type and then we have to add storage if you want, or else we can use whatever that is there and then configure security group. This is by default will be there. If you want, you can add additional security groups as well. And then key value pairs. So this is also optional. If you want, you can create key value pairs, else you can skip this part. Okay. So, and then another last option is launch and connect your instance to a via SSH. Yeah, definitely. So this is another thing. If you want to connect to cloud from outside cloud environment, then we do that via SSH. Okay. So how to do all this? I can show you step by step. You can also do that yourself. Okay. So now what do we do? Let's implement that. Try all these steps with the AWS console. Okay. Let's implement all these steps one by one so that we get a clear picture about this AWS. Okay. Now let's start with that. So you can see here before I jump into that. Okay. What exactly do you have there? Let me just open connect to that environment. So what is that? You can start from very beginning. I just say here the AWS login, okay, or console you can see. So when you just come to the AWS, this is the home page. Now, if you want to start playing around AWS, the best thing is sign into the console. Okay, click on this. You can follow with me. Maybe we can make it as a working session, friends. Is that okay? So because most of you have AWS account, what you can do, you can have a working session so that you don't need to again have any issue or problem for connecting to this. Okay. So now what I do is I can connect into the console, sign into new session. Okay. I don't need old session. I'll start fresh. So this is what the actual landing page is. Okay, this is the landing page, and here, yeah, I am anyhow. We'll see that in the next week. Okay, how to create work with I am identity access. Okay, management. Okay, how to create users, how to create groups, how to attach users to groups, all that stuff. We do that in the next week. Today, this week, we'll focus on this EC2 all this stuff. Now, already once we create AWS account, by default, we have a root user ready for us. Okay, we have root user enabled. So what you have to do now, sign in using root user. So that's what you have to do. Okay, and then you have to pass your root user email ID. You can see whichever you created for that. Just before that, I think I have a few more uh, friends have joined. I think Revati, Chandu, all of you have AWS accounts.
No, I don't have an account. I have to create the one.
Yeah. Would you like to create it now or would you like to do it after class, Revati?
I would like to create after the class. I just to watch out now how to do that one. Then I just to do that steps. Anyway, you are going to share the PDF how to create that account. Am I right?
Correct, correct.
My
You can follow this PDF. If anyone has any issues, or if you want me to help you also, you can connect with me, not a problem. So the steps
yeah,
are clear, and mostly you can easily understand those steps. Okay, so create it. But my kind request is, we need, make sure everyone who is attending these sessions have that AWS account so that you can practice along with me. It would be helpful. Okay. So that way you become hands-on while we are doing having this session itself. Okay. Else, you quickly forget everything because without much hands-on practice, this is going to doesn't last for much time. Just that's I'm saying from experience. Okay. So I'm trying to enter into this root user. See here, I just entered my email. Okay, which is this one. Then password. Whatever you created for password, you can pass it. Okay. And these days they were adding a extra security, which is what we call multi-factor authentication. Right. So I'm trying to log in, and you can see this. My account is protected with multi-factor authentication. Recent earlier we don't have this thing enforced on us. Okay, but now these days AWS people are asking us to create or to enable multi-factor authentication. That is simple. There will be an option. You can click on that. For that, what you have to do is you can either download what shall, or else if you want to know what is MFA, you can just click on this. It tells you what is that. You can see here. You can create a security key here where it will try to push you to the. You usually what is that you have to install either Microsoft Authenticator or Google Authenticator, and then you have to scan this AWS image, that QR code. Automatically, your AWS will be connected to that authenticator. Next time, if you want to log in, it generates that authenticator automatically generates a passkey, and this works same even in real time. Okay, because I work from the most secured company, right, where we are one of the biggest bank in US. So for us, this kind of authentication is there. We have our own authenticator. That authenticator is our own company authenticator name. Company name authenticator. That's it. Similarly, if you want to have a real experience, you can create this and then you can connect to this. Okay, that's what I would like to tell you. So maybe you have options here. That is easy only, friends. It's not really that difficult to understand. You can click somewhere here because I didn't have that, I did it directly without much problem. Okay, you can choose somewhere here. Okay, you can click like this and then go and try to create it because I already have that. I don't need it, friends. I created that. Okay, enable here. Click on this somewhere. I can see the steps. Yeah. So I'll just put it here, right? So this helps you to add multi-factor authentication. Okay. Let me just copy and paste this in the. So if it is forcing you, you do that. Else you don't need it, friends. If it is not asking for that, you can skip it. Okay. That's fine. Now I am going with the this thing. So if needed, you can enable that MFA, multi-factor authentication. Right now I am adding that now. So here I am just adding MFA code. I have, again I am repeating, I have Google Authenticator. and my AWS account is connected to Google Authenticator. So that once I just open my authenticator, it generates a code. That code I have to enter into this MFA code. Okay, let me just run it now. Okay, I just say sign in. And you can see it got logged in. So this is the landing page again inside the AWS once you log into the root user. And if you want, you can explore many things. If you want to see all services, these are all different services we have in AWS. Right? And this is completely a real-time environment. Only difference is here we are just playing around. Right. But in real time, even the environment is same. Only thing is that is more specific to the project. That's all. Other than that, most of the things are same. And now there are the today's focus is on what? EC2. Click on EC2. Anyone is trying to create EC2 instance? Can someone just confirm? Anyone? All of you are creating it. You can ping in the chat box. No one is creating. So why, if anyone is creating, I can guide you. Can you connect and no? So but this session is for you to create this EC2 instance. So what I want is I want everyone to have one EC2 instance so that you get an idea. Would you like to do that, or I am already in AWS? Okay, you can see here inside the root user. So if we should create EC2, then we should click on EC2 here. So can someone share your screen so that I can guide you how to create EC2 instance? Nobody wants to do that.
I love to do that one, but I don't have an AWS account. So I just watch now. Maybe I just create it later.
Yeah. Why I'm asking is so that it gives a little bit better understanding of creating EC2 instance. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Rajshekhar, can I? Yeah, you can share. Can you try to share the screen? You can directly share, I believe. Yeah, thank you, Rajshekhar. So now go to the EC2. Okay, and then click on launch instance. Anyhow, I'll also show one more time, but just want to have a better experience. Okay, and I'll explain each and everything very clearly. So you have 5 important things here where you have to follow all those steps one by one. First thing is you have to provide name. Right. Again, I'll again re-explain, recreate one more instance so that you get an idea. Provide some name here, Rajshekhar. Okay, some test 1 or test 2. If it is not there in your machine, if you hadn't created any instance, do you have any previously created instances in your machine? I think there is some audio issue.
No, sir. No, sir.
Then it's fine. Then test 1 should be okay. It should work for you, Rajshekhar. Yeah. Let's go ahead one by one. First, you should provide name of the instance. Okay. Next one. Scroll a little bit down, Rajshekhar. And you can see here, friends, there are different operating systems. Okay. AWS Linux, sorry, Amazon Linux, and then Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, SUSE. You can scroll a bit to the right if possible. There is a, right arrow mark there, right arrow mark at the end, Rajshekhar. Yeah, that one. Please click on that. Okay. So these are all different operating systems available. You can choose whichever you want. But in real time, 90 to 95% people, most of the resources, I mean, real time experts use Linux environment. So go to the, again, just go back to the previous this thing. Yeah, click on that, select that Amazon Linux. Okay, we are creating Linux operating system. This is step 2. Okay, this session definitely gives you a very clear picture of creating EC2 instances. This is very important thing. Okay, then here you have to choose Amazon machine image. Okay, you can just, can you please expand it, drop down that Rajshekhar, and you can see there are multiple free tiers available. You can see there. One is the first one with 6.1 AMI, second one 6.12 AMI, and scroll down a bit. That all that list, Rajshekhar. Yeah, little. You can see one more free tier here. Okay. Okay. Then scroll it down a bit. Yeah, these are all different free tiers available. Okay. So you can see there now. Now we don't need this deep learning OSS or deep learning AMI, all that. Go little up. I believe go up, go little up there. You can choose this Amazon Linux 2023 kernel 6.12 AMI. That should be fine. Or the first one is also fine. Okay. Better you can go with 6.12 AMI. Okay. You can choose either the first one or second one. Now, there is a question from somebody. We'll get back to this. All the, again, I'll recap all these steps. Again, I create one more instance so that you get a clear picture. Okay. So now, what do we do right now? So once that is done, yeah, you choose this one, right? Amazon AMI free tier. I think. Can you scroll down? You go little up. I think you choose something else actually. Click on you choose Red Hat, Rajshekhar. Please choose Amazon Linux. Yeah, scroll down. Amazon Linux. Click on that Amazon Linux. You can say confirm changes. Okay. Confirm changes. Okay. Now you can choose Amazon Linux to 2023 kernel. Okay, next scroll it down. So this is what you have to do. Choose that operating system and choose that kernel stuff. Okay, what Amazon Linux kernel you want to add here. Next one, this is fine. This architecture you can keep it as 64-bit. That should be fine. Next, scroll it down a bit, Rajshekhar. Instance type by default it chooses T3.micro. Can you drop down that just to see different types of instances available? I believe by default you have only one available, right? Scroll it down. Yeah, you can see there. If you have any other free tier available, you can choose that. But mostly choose free tier. Don't go for any paid tiers. Okay. Again, they will charge you. You will be billed. Okay. So choose that. You don't need to do anything, Rajshekhar. Already free tier one is selected, instance type. So that you, and instance type instance, you can see there. Is this clear for if everyone can see there, right? You can see the CPU, RAM, all that is assigned to this with instance type. Got it, right? So this allows you to assign this CPU as well as RAM to your virtual machine. Okay, scroll down a bit, Rajshekhar. And then you can see here, there is an option. Yeah, network settings, yes. Go little up, Rajshekhar. Go little up. Yeah. So here you can see key value, key pair name required. This is another step. For now, we'll go without key pair. Again, we will also create key pair and connect with SSH. We see everything. Okay. So can you just choose that, expand that, please? Yes. And proceed without the key pair. Choose that. proceed without a key pair. Yeah. For now, you can go with that. Again, I'll show you how to create a key pair and then how to install, download putty and how to connect from putty outside from the cloud, external to cloud. All that we'll see. Okay. Now, what is that you have to do is in the network settings, edit this. Click on this edit, Rajshekar. Yeah. Please scroll down a bit. See, you have to choose subnet here, friends. Under this VPC, virtual private cloud, the second option here, subnet. Okay, that you can keep as is. Subnet, you can choose any one of these. So you can see here availability zones. Yesterday I spoke something about regions, availability zones, blah, blah, blah. Yes, right? So this talks about availability zones. You can see, right, availability zone, EU North 1C and EU North 1A. You can choose 1A. That should be fine, Rajashekar. EU North, second one. Okay, 1C is also fine. Yeah, should be okay. 1C is also fine, but yeah. Next, scroll little down, Rajashekar. Scroll little down. Here you can see in that same network setting, see how to create a security group. Already it is saying launch wizard 1. Okay, so you can delete that, Rajashekar. You can delete, please delete it. You can create Raja hyphen. If you want all uppercase or all lowercase, it's up to you. Or Raja hyphen. Okay. Security group or SEC group or something. Just create one. And you can reuse this when you are creating and security hyphen group. GRP should be fine. Yeah. Okay, that should be also fine. Yeah. Finally, I think we are almost at the last leg of this creation. And this is something you have to delete and create it. Okay. And then scroll little down. Scroll it. This SSH by default should be there. And this is by default set to 22, port 22. Right. Usually SSH runs in this port, friends. 22. Okay. And that is fine. Yeah. For now, this is enough. Scroll little down. We'll add few more things again. And finally, right, you add security group role. For now, we don't need it, but we will add it again. Okay. If you want to add anything additional security groups, we can do like HTTP or some ABC or XYZ. There are so many security groups. For now, it's okay. And now configure storage. By default, this is actually 30 GB available for us. You can see here. Little down, scroll little down. Yeah, by default, it is available with 30 GB. And you can see here for this machine, how much GB is allocated? 8 GB or GIB. 8 GIB is something you can convert it to GB. Slightly it will come around 810 GB or something. I mean, 8.10 GB something. You can see the calculation. Converting GIB to GB, just check in the Google, you will get that. Because this is something we frequently do in our day-to-day activities. Okay, you don't need to. Okay. You don't need to. What is that here? If you want, you can increase this. I'll show you again in my machine. You can increase this. Okay. And you can see, scroll little down. Scroll little down here.
This is the end
This
of
is
the
the
code.
This is the end. Okay, fine. So I think it's not showing here, but here by default, this capacity of configure storage is 30 GB. Generally, this is EBS, elastic block storage, what we call. Right? Means it's nothing but your hard disk to your machine. You got it right, friends? So here by default, it comes with 8 GB. If you want, you can increase that. You can see, go there and then just, yeah, you can see that up or down options, right? Can you just click there once, Rajashekar? Yeah, you can see it increased to 9. And again, if one more time, it increased to 10. Likewise, we can increase the configure storage. Okay. That is overall, this is what we have to follow all this. I'll explain all this in detail now. So what do you do right now? So you can click on launch instance. What you can do, click on launch instance and just wait for a second. It's very simple process. Now go to the, you can see here, instance is successfully created. Go to instances. Okay, just wait. You can see there it's already started running. Okay, can you scroll little right, Rajashekar? Status check, it's going on. You generally we have 2x2 status checks. Okay, and you can see availability zone. It's selected as EU North 1C, whatever you have, and you have public IP address and private IP address. All this stuff. Go little right, Rajashekar. Okay, you can see the security group here. Okay, and that's all. This is all fine. Now, if you want to see, go to the left actually. Now go to the left side, Rajshekar. Suppose you want to start working it with this EC2 instance, then you have to select it. Please select that there. That checkbox is there, right? Okay, now if you want, you can connect to that instance. You can see connect option is enabled. Click on it. I will explain all that by creating one more EC2 instance in my machine. Okay. Once you say connect, it connects actually. Did you click on that connect to the instance, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Scroll little down, Rajshekar. You can see at the end somewhere connect option. And you can see the username is EC2 user. Just observe that, okay? Okay. Did you click on that connect?
Yes.
Now this is actually we connected to this EC2 instance and it is establishing a connection. You can see that AWI image you can see here, right? Whatever that is there, it's your AWI Amazon machine image. You got it right. So here you play around with whatever you want. You can create your Dockers, Kubernetes, or you can create your web servers, or you can create Git environments, or you can create whatever you want in this place. You got it right. So I think you have all this, and suppose you once this is done, you played around because this is learning this thing, right? This is your playground, right? So if you don't want billing, you terminate this instance. Again, create a fresh one every time you start playing around this AWS instances. Why I'm suggesting to terminate? Because you don't to have not to have any additional billing to your this thing account. Okay. So and by default, every month I think you get 750 hours of free hours for practice. So once that is there, that 750 hours is more than enough for us to do this practice and learning all that. And here and there, you have just only thing you have to be cautious while choosing which services you are running. So not to have any additional billing to your account. That's important. Right? Is that clear now? Somebody is asking a question to me. What is that question? Could you please elaborate about the? Okay. See, it's as simple as this, Venkatesh, okay, subnet thing. Subnet thing is a very simple thing. Like it's something like suppose you have a city. In that city, you have a street. You got it right. If city is your VPC, right, virtual private cloud, and subnet is a street inside that. Why a city is divided into streets, Venkatesh? Simple question to you. So that you can easily understand what is subnet and what is the connection between subnet and availability zones.
To distribute the traffics.
Exactly. So suppose a city is divided into streets because it's easy to travel, right? And it's easy to reach the destination. Will you agree?
Yes.
And then, yeah, that's what subnet is. So simply speaking, subnetwork means when you have virtual private cloud, to that many subnets are associated, so that whichever is near to you, you choose that subnet. You got it? And that availability zone also has the same meaning, right? Availability zones means what? In a city, we have many availability zones. Whichever availability zone is near to you, you choose that. You got it right, Venkatesh. And subnet is associated with the availability zone. So simple point is whichever is near to you, you choose that. Do you understand?
Clear. Yeah.
Did I answer your question? What is subnet? Connectivity between subnet and availability. Each subnet always has a availability zone. You can see like U, East, 1A, 1B, 1C, something like that. Right? What is all this? Whichever is near to your location, you can choose that. That's just as simple as that. Is that clear?
Clear.
Okay, that's the idea. Now, Raja, I think you are clear, right, Rajshekar? This gives you a clear idea, right? Anyhow, I'll show you one more time. This time you will get a very better picture of EC2 and everything. Also, some underlying things, everything I explain so that everyone has a bigger view. Okay. Now I'm sharing my screen, right? Raja, we can play around again after with these things again. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thanks, sir.
Yeah. Thanks for your time too. Okay. Now you might have some. Most of you might have some idea, but not complete idea for now. I am very sure. But after this discussion, you will have a very clear picture about EC2. For now, you understood what is EC2, right? It's a virtual machine we are creating. We create virtual machines in EC2 service. Simple. And what, simply speaking, we have AMIs, which is nothing but virtual machines. And what is that it have? It have operating system. It have application server and apps. Okay. And then it have configuration settings. Like just now you have seen some security settings. There are so many. We can see that now. And monitoring settings. I'll show you all that now. We'll have a bigger walkthrough right now. Launch permissions and then block device map. Many things are there in AMI. Okay. So now these are the steps. We did that steps. Now we are going with the next step. Right. These are the things. Let me just create one instance from my side. So step one is this one. Launch instance. Okay. Let's go there. Once you come to the AWS console window, you have these options. If you don't see that, you can directly search here. If you don't find EC2, you don't need to worry or panic there. Just come here and type here EC2. Automatically, it will show you. Escape. So you show you this EC2 here, and click on that EC2, and it will open EC2 window. You can come here and click on launch instance, and then here you have to create your EC2 instance. Suppose if you want to see if already any existing instances are there, you can come here and click on this. And you can see I have just one instance created. Okay. Generally, I terminate all my instances. You can see, go to the actions, you have terminate option. Okay. You can see here, once you created this terminate instance option is there. If you terminate, automatically it is deleted in some hours. Right. So that is the best thing to avoid billing. So this is my playground. When I am implementing anything, when I am teaching, I use this as my playground. Okay, you can create one, or you can create as many as you want. Okay, for each kind of application, you create one instance. For Python one, for Java one, for testing one. Likewise, you can create how many other instances you want. You got it right. There is no limit for creating instances. Only thing is, if you are not worried about billing. If you want to keep that in control, just you have to do all this within that 750 hours of free tier timeline. Okay, now what I have to do, I want to create a new this thing. What I do, I say launch instances. And then you can see these are the different steps you should follow, whatever we have seen in the PPT. First, you have to provide the name. Second, you have to choose your operating system. Third, number 3, you have to choose your AMI image here. And fourth, you have to choose instance type. And 5, you have to choose key value pair if needed or not. That's up to you, right? If needed, you have to create that key value pair. Already you can see I created some of these key value pairs here. And if you don't want, you can also proceed without key value pair. That is 5. Number 6, doing this networking settings, probably adding subnet is very important. So subnet is default subnet in availability zones. I have explained clearly yesterday what is region, what is availability zone, all that stuff. Still, if you want a better clarity, connect with me one-on-one. I'll explain in most easiest and simple language to understand subnet. Okay, subnet are availability zones, regions, all that. So, what is the 6th step? Adding subnet. And 7th step, what is that? You have to add that security group. Okay, you have to create a security group. It is a one-time activity. Once you create security group, you can reuse it if you want. Or else if you ask a question, if I create another security group, do I have a problem? It's up to you. But one is enough for creating how many other instances you want. And finally, next, storage part. This is the storage part. Generally, this is what we call EBS. You can see now, you can see here, free tier eligible customers can get up to 30 GB of EBS. Sorry, friends. What is this EBS? Amazon block storage. So generally that hard disk for Amazon, this cloud is mentioned with EBS. That block storage is nothing but hard disk for your instance. And this can be, you can increase this till to 30 GB. If you ask me if I add more than that, do I have any problem? You don't have a problem. Only thing is you will be charged. You got it right. Free tier eligible customers can get up to 30 GB, means up to 30 GB you have a free allocation. After that, still you can increase that, but it is not free. You got it right. So things changes there. But 8 GB is more than enough for us for our practice and learning and playing around multiple things. And you can see here at the right side window, you can clearly observe here how much free hours you get when you create a free tier. You can see at the right side. In your first year of opening an AWS account, you get 750 hours per month of T2 micro instance uses. You got it right. And that everything you have to choose free. Whatever that they gave us free, that this one, your AMI should be free tier 1. And similarly, your instance type should be free tier 1. And also all other things should be free tier. And if you are adding anything other than that, again, you will be paid. You will be billed. You got it right, friends. So again, I am repeating the steps. What are the steps you have to follow? You know, you might think that why this guy is going again and again. Just to ensure that those steps are registered in your mind. Once they are registered, there is nothing in creating. After that, you can play around as much as possible. Step 1, always you have to create what? Name. You can see in this slide as well. I made it very clear. So step 1, always you have to provide name for the instance. Okay, launch instance, of course. After name, maybe I'll go from here. You can choose your operating system and then AMI, Amazon machine image. Okay, we'll go here itself. Okay, step 1 is creating name. Step 2, choose your OS. Step 3, choose your AMI for your OS. Okay, Amazon machine image. Step 4, choose your instance type. Step 5, if you want add key value pair, or you can, that's optional, you can ignore it. Step 6, update subnet. Step 7, choose your security group. Okay, so you can see here when you just say when you are creating all this comes. Once you add subnet, you can see that security group thing added. You can update that, or you can create a new security group. Okay, step 8. I think we came still step 7, right? Step 8, add this configure storage. By default, you can go with this. If you want, you can increase it. And finally, you just click on launch instance. That creates a EC2 instance. Is that clear now? I'm just showing you one more is. So I'm just creating as Nomi2. And then that's my name of my new instance. And then you can create some meaningful names as well. Depends on kind of instance you are creating. You are creating for Python, you can say Python instance. You are creating Java, you can provide Java instance. Something, a meaningful name is always recommended. Okay. But here I'm just creating for showing you as a demo. So I just put it as Nomi 2. Okay. Then I choose Amazon Linux AWS, and then you can see when I expand this, I can see two free types available, two AMIs in the free type zone, right? You can see just only two for me. And then I choose 6.121. Okay. And then after that, this architecture by default, you can choose it as 64-bit x86. That should be fine. And then after that, instance type by default, I choose this T2 micro, and but already it's in free type eligible thing. So I just keep this as is. Maybe if you want, you can expand this. Likewise, I think you have almost 90 available instance types, but most of these are paid. They are not free. So what you have to do, just choose free type. So this 750 hours are free for you only if you are choosing everything under free tier. Is that clear now? Next, key value pair. For now, I don't want it. Already I have some key value pairs created. I'll show you once you get familiar with this. So proceed without key pair. For now, what you can do, proceed without a key pair. Next, after that, what is that? Network settings. You should edit this. And now you have to choose subnet so that you can choose an availability zone somewhere near to you. So you can see when I expand that, come to the subnet and then drop down this, and you can see there are different availability zones. Okay. And here you can see with the multiple options here. What is that? US East 1D, US East 1B, US East 1C, 1A. I choose 1A. And also you can see one more thing I forget to tell you. Yesterday I was talking about regions, right? These are all the regions. And you choose to create any instance under this first four. Okay, you might use other things as well, but the first four is most recommended. And under that, you can see at the right side, you have all this stuff, right? US East 1, all this. These are all the availability zones. And these are regions and these are availability zones. Are you following, friends? So now I choose what is that I did? Sorry. I choose what my availability zone as you can see here, US East 1A. Right. Next, after that, your this public IP is enabled, and then security group you can change it. Already I have multiple security groups. If I want, I can use the same. Okay. So I'm creating one again. When I just say this Nomi hyphen, I just say I'm going with all see, there are two options here. One, if you want to create a new security group, you can choose this, create new security group. Second one, if you want to choose existing security groups, you can see there are multiple security groups created by me for different other sessions. Okay. So you can see here, you can choose that. But as we are doing it as a fresh one, I just create one more to show you how to create a security group. Once we create it, we don't need to create security group every time, right? You can choose existing security groups, right? This is not something, right? An activity that you should do every time you create instance. It's a one-time activity, but still it's up to you. You can create how many ever security groups you want based on your need and necessity. But one is enough. Just that is the FYI for your information. Okay. I just create one more is my, okay, SEC group. I just put like this. Okay. For this particular instance. And then what is that? SSH by default is enabled. You don't need to do anything. Okay. And then that runs in the port by default 22. If you want to add any additional security groups, I'll show you how to add even later also. Adding security groups. Okay. That's we can do. And finally, configuration storage. Right. Configure storage by default 8 GB is enough. If you are interested, you can slightly increase it to 10 GB. That's fine. Of course, you can Within that 30 GB, how much ever you want to allocate, that much you can allocate to this hard disk or configure storage. Okay. And it's part of EBS, Amazon Block Storage, which is nothing but a kind of hard disk to your instance. If you want, you can increase volume from by clicking on this button as well. Okay, it's up to you. Now, finally, what you have to do, all the steps covered, right? Is this clear for everyone, friends? I'm sure this time you should have a clear picture what steps you should follow. Yes or no, friends? Clear for all of you? Now, finally, launch instance. Now you can see that instance getting created. And now it's created successfully, and go to the click on this instance. You can see now it just started creating Nomi2, and it's still in the, you can see here pending. That will be pending for a couple of seconds, that's all. Okay, it doesn't take much time to create instance. It's just within a couple of seconds, it's getting to then you can see instances created for now. And still the checks are going on. Usually we should see 2x2 checks passed. Means when you see that, means that your instance is properly and thoroughly created. You got it right. Once that instance is created, you have to check box. You have to just select that instance. And if you scroll down, you can see here. What is that? These are all different tabs, menus available. And these are all different parameters that is associated with this instance, with any instance. And now if you want to understand what this instance is, what details does it have, what you have to do, you can go down, click on details. You can see this is the public IP of your instance. Private IP is this, and DNS you can see here. Domain name service you can see here. This is that one. You can also use it if you want. Okay, it's up to you. And then you can see scroll down. This is the VPC ID, Virtual Private Cloud ID, which you can see that while creating under network settings. And you can see the subnet ID which we have created. Under that, you can see that availability zone we choose here. Okay, similarly, when you scroll down a bit, you can see here your AMI ID and then all different things. Your platform is Linux platform. You can see all such details here. Okay, so that is the idea. So that is about details. Suppose monitoring is very important in real time. Okay, because as a DevOps engineer, I know how much important it is. So because if you want to make sure highly available, we should keep monitoring our all this. Generally, here in Amazon Web Services, people prefer to use CloudWatch, but we has different monitoring tools. We use Grafana, Kibana. There are many other ways. But for cloud, especially for Amazon, CloudWatch should be the best choice. Okay, there are many more like that we talk later. But you can choose monitoring, and monitoring gives you idea about how much CPU is utilized and network, and you can scroll down there. You can get a clear idea about the metrics of your machine. Okay, how much hard disk is utilized, how much RAM is used. All that you can see under monitoring. And security you can see here. This is all about security. If you want to add any additional security groups, you can go here under security group. You can click on this. Once you click on this, you can see there, you can say edit inbound rule, and then here you can say add rule. That will add a new security group. And these many security groups you can create. You can see there. Depends on your need and necessity. These are available security groups. From that, you can choose one. Suppose I want to add HTTP, right? I can choose that. Soon I will show you how to work with this. Okay, because we are going to just create a web server, and I'll show you how to launch that and how to access that. Okay. So while doing that, I'll show you how to add security groups to your instance. You got it right? Now, what is that? Now, for now, I'm skipping this one because as of now, you don't need. Just in few seconds, we are going to add all that. Okay. So that's about security thing. And you can check likewise, just always having a view of all these tabs is a good thing for you. Okay, networking, again on networking, you can see all that IP information, public IP, private IP, all that details you can see here. And after that, the storage part you can see. If you want to just have a view of your storage, you can come here and see here. You can see that. So your storage, you can check here. You got that storage information. Here, scroll a bit down. You can see more information about it. Okay. So that's about storage thing. Okay. Next, after that, you can increase it even once, even after instance is created. If you want to add volume, you can increase volume, friends. I'll show you all that in one session. Okay. Increasing volumes, decreasing volumes, all that stuff. Okay. Not a problem. Okay. Then after that, what else should we see? So tags, you can click on tags and see, you can see the name of our instance is nothing but Nomi2. So that's it. And status and alarms, you can see. So it is initializing. Again, you can see here status checks. So still you can refresh it. Okay. Probably why it's still showing it. I don't think it will take this much time to pass this security checks. Okay. Just refresh it. And now you should see that checks are passed. Now you can go and check under that this thing. Now select this instance. Now click on that. Where is that status and alarms? But you can see now this time that green checks appearing here, right? So these two checks should happen to ensure that to make sure that your instance is properly initialized. Okay, system reliability check passed. That is one check, and second check is instance reliability check is passed. These two checks should be passed to make sure that your instance is properly initialized. You got it right. So this is all about in and out about what is that the EC2 instance and all other different things associated with EC2 instance. Now what do we do? Once we create instance, we have to connect it. So to connect to the instance, we have to say this one. And also instance state. Suppose if you want to stop it, you can click on stop so that it won't stop running. So that your additional billing won't happen. One important thing is once you create instance, at the end of the day, while you are going to switch off your learning, you have to also stop this instance. That is one thing. Else you should terminate. Better option is terminate it and go. Especially when you are doing learning. In real time, generally you don't have all that access. You don't need to worry much about it unless you are an admin. Okay. So for us not to have extra additional billing, right? To avoid additional billing, just terminate it because creating instance doesn't take much time. Hardly it will take a minute or two once you practice couple of times. Or otherwise, the other option is you want to keep your instance for you. Just say stop instance and then shut down your OS. Next time, what you can do, you can just come and again start your instance and start working with that. So that is other option. Next, actions. You have different actions here. Okay. Anyhow, we'll get to these actions again. Okay. Now, finally, we have created instance. Next part is what? Connecting to the instance. Now click on this. And you can see we are moved to the connect window here. And here we are always we generally connect as EC2 user, right? So now we are connecting to public IP here and then just say connect. Now we are connecting to the instance. So now it's initializing. You can see here, and you can see here two types of IP. One is public IP, with another is private IP. Public IP is to access this your any of your instance outside externally to the cloud. That is public. I'll show you that. Private is what? Suppose if you want to access within this cloud, then we can use this private ID. Okay, we'll talk about all this later. Okay, now I have this here. You got it right. Now here you can install your Python software. You can install Docker, Kubernetes, whatever you want in this instance, and then you can start working. And you can see here this is your Amazon logo or image here. Okay, AMI image. You can see that here. And this is your Linux machine. You can play around with different things, your Linux commands, or you can install any software here and then start working with them. And this is a Linux environment. Always you have to follow Linux strategy or Linux ways of working. Okay. So now, just to give you a little deeper idea about this one, I'll do one thing. What we do. So these steps are clear, right? All of you friends, can I get update to the chat box? All of you are clear, right? Steps are clear, right? Or shall I revise it one more time? Already, I think we had enough this thing. So can I get your response or feedback in the chat box, friends? If you want, I can go through one more time. If you see, if you have any doubts or if you have any, right, if you think you have any confusion, we can go through it one more time. But the way we have explained definitely should be clear for all of you. This is step one, we created it, right? This is step two, choosing the T2 micro. Step three, configuring your instance. And then, okay, next step four, adding storage. And then step five, configure security group. Okay, that we did already. And review and launch. That's it. And these are the actual thing which I did. Okay, added for your better understanding. Okay, the real way of creating instance. Okay, generally what is that? You can choose your region here. Generally Virginia or any four of the first four is recommended, but other things are also fine. You can use that. It's up to you. Okay. Next, after that, you can choose what is that. Next step, you can click on EC2. You can see, and then if you want, you can view all the running instances. Okay. Next, after that, and then once you know what instances are created, if you want to create a new instance, you can come to that instances, launch instances. You know that, and then you can choose your region, in which region you want to create your instance. Okay. Then after that, you can see here. This is okay. Now you have to start with what is that? Providing the name of the instance and then choosing the OS, which OS you want to create, Linux OS, Amazon Linux OS or Mac OS or Ubuntu, whichever it is. And then what else? Choose AMI, Amazon Machine Image, whichever is available in the free type. That's always good. Okay. And then after that, choose instance type. Again, that should be in the free tier. Okay. And then choose key value pair. By now, for now, we are proceeding without this thing. Okay. And then after that, what did I do? I created subnet. You can see here in the network settings, we created subnet and choose the availability zone here. And finally, we updated what is that there, friends? Security group. You can see here. We created a security group. Of course, I created different one. This one is created prior to what we are doing right now, or already created instance. Okay, I just took it a flow of screenshots so that it will be helpful for you to create one without any issues. Okay, and by default, you don't need to do make any changes to SSH. And then even for configure storage, if you want, you can increase 2 more GB, GIB. That's it. And finally, what is that? You have to click on that launch instance. That will create an instance. Okay, and then you can connect to the instance from where you can see once you say that that instance will be created. There is a connect option that if that should be enabled, you have to click on this checkbox. Once you click on that checkbox and click on connect, it will take you to this window. Once it takes to this window, you can just choose type of connection here. Either you want to connect with public IP or private IP, choose that and then connect it. And then after that, your connection happens like this to the AMI, right to that instance. Right. Now we'll test this. We'll do one thing. We'll just do a small this thing. We'll just apply a small case study. We will install a web server and then we start the web server and we try to access that web server in this instance. Okay. So what for that? What is that we should do? Simply we have to follow this command. So what is that? If you should create anything, right, or if you should install anything in that instance, right, you have to use the commands. Right, that is a Linux environment. In Linux environment, everything works with the commands. Is that clear? So now to create a web server, right, you can see Apache web server. I have to install this HTTPD. So this is the command I should run now to install that HTTPD server. What is that? Sudo m install HTTPD-y. So what is that I should do now? You can come here and then you can paste it here. Okay. And then it will run in. You just give a minute, a few couple of minutes or seconds, it will automatically run. Yeah, started installing and it got installed. You can see that, right? Completed. So now web server is installed. What is the next step you can also do the same, friends. If you are interested, you can do the same. What is that I should do now? I have to start that web server. To start that, we have to use this command. What is that? Sudo systemctl start httpd. See, generally, we are in the panel, interview panel, just giving you an idea. So while doing interviews, we'll have co-panels as well. So what people do is people also ask questions on OS, like what commands you use every day, right? And how to use those commands. We test those commands as well. We ask them like to select all process running, which command to use, or for permissions purpose, which commands we use. Why I'm saying this is so learning these commands is also helpful for your interviews. Okay, so next sessions, 1 or 2 sessions, I will completely talk about Linux commands, how to use those Linux commands as well. Okay, fine. But for now, just to show you, like this the EC2 instance creation and utilization, I am just going with this demo for today. Okay. So once you create it, then you have to start that server. To start that server, get to that part. You can see here, come here and then paste this command again, and then just run it. That's all. You can see that will automatically start the web server, right? And then it's taking. Yeah, it's done already. You can see now. Once I say enter, it started. Suppose I want to know the status if it is running or not. The easiest thing is because we are using this one, right? So next. You can see I use Copilot. I do have Copilot. Just want to get that command. Okay. Is it Copilot? Yeah. You can see GPT-5. Okay. So now I want to know the status. Another thing you should check while working with this web server is how to get status of HTTPD. Status of HTTPD in AWS. So I started running that. I want the status. Okay. You can just run this now. Okay, copy this. I'm adding here first to get the status. And then copy this now. Not start again. I think I am getting something. You should have this, okay, copy. Remove this. Now you can run this to know the status if your web server is running or not. Okay, paste it here and then press enter. And now you can see there, what is that? You can see active. It's and running there. And you can see this, if you want to enable this service, you can enable it. For now, it is showing as disabled. Right? So how to check your status means this is how you can check the status. It is active and running. You don't need to worry about it. Suppose you want to test it, if it is running or not. Right? So with the public IP. Right. So you got it right. And still this, it's clear for all of you, right? Yes or no? Now, to test this, if this is running or not, what you have to do, copy this public IP, go to the open browser, any browser of your choice, and okay. Once you enter, it should show something here, a message. Depends on what is configured in the default path of that server. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is good only. So it's not showing me anything, and it's saying not secure. This site can't be reached. Something, right? You know why? Anyone has any idea? Why we are not able to see the output here? Any idea? Because if you want to access something outside, we should use some protocol, right? What is that protocol we should use? You can type in the chat box. I'm only just trying to engage you. HTTP, right? Yeah. So I didn't enable security group now. I didn't add that security rule. What is that I should do right now? Why I am not seeing that that the web server is running? Okay, what is running? Web server is for sure running, but when I just use that public IP and run from this browser outside external to that cloud, it should work actually. Why it's not working is simple, friends. Go to that again, this Amazon this thing instance, and go to this. What I missed is I missed adding security group. Okay, so what should I do right now? Go to the security and click on this. Then what do you have to do? Are you following, friends? So if you want to access something outside your cloud, right, the servers or anything, you have to enable your security group. Okay, come here. Okay, and then click on edit inbound role. Following, right? Shall I show you one more time? Do you want me to show again start from the start? In your instance, okay? Right, you can see here. Instances. In your instance, right? Just select that check box that. Okay, and then go to security. Under security, click on this security groups and then come here. And you can see here edit inbound rules, right? And you can see there here, you are here now. Now add rule and choose what is that. If you want to access your web server outside this cloud environment, external to cloud, then choose HTTP, right? And then what is that you should do? And come here, custom, choose IPv4. Okay, so under custom, you can choose this protocol. What is that protocol? IPv4 here. And finally, save rules. Okay, now definitely if this should automatically provide access, else you can log out and then again log in back and then connect to the instance. So now let me refresh this. If it out, yeah, you can see what it is showing here. It works, right? All of you are seeing this, friends. Earlier, what is that? It shown error for us. Why we have error? Because we don't have that security group added, that HTTP. And if you want your server accessed outside the cloud, external to cloud, you should, what is that? Add that security group. Are you following, friends? Is it interesting or again am I boring you?
It is interesting, and I have a couple of questions. I'm sorry
Yeah,
for my background noise because I'm at the park, so I'm sorry for the background
sure. That
noise.
should be fine, Revati. Yeah.
Yeah. The one question is like, could you please explain more about the security group? Actually, why we need the security group? What's happening there?
Yeah, simple, right? See, again,
Without that, what will happen?
see, if you want to access something outside, right? So within this, it's fine. But if you want to access outside cloud environment or outside your existing environment, so generally this is what it's a web server, right, Revati? So if it is a web server, to access any web server outside, what is the protocol you have to use? Simple. What is the protocol we must use?
Yeah, HTTP or HTTPS.
Correct, right? So if you want to get it in more secured way, you have to use HTTPS. And if you want to get it access outside with that hypertext protocol, we use HTTP. For now, let's go with HTTP. HTTPS, whenever it's needed, I'll explain. Now, for that, if you want to add that HTTP in your Amazon instance, that is actually a security group. That HTTP is a security group. HTTPS is a security group. If that protocol should work outside your cloud environment, then definitely what is needed, that group has to be added. Do you get this point, Revati? So that is like added as a group in this instance. So you go to this here and go to your instance there. Now you can see that this is your instance. Now come down. Now when you click on security, you can see the security groups. Now it's a simple thing, right? Suppose if you want to access something outside this cloud, especially that web server, best example is, okay. So what is that you have to do? You have to add a HTTP rule. Why you are not able to access that web server earlier? It shown some error. Yes or no, Revati? Why did it show error? It's a simple thing, right? Why it is showing error?
Yes, I got it now. Yeah.
Okay, why it is showing? Because you didn't add security group. Without that security group, you cannot access this outside. It is as simple as having access to a company. Suppose you want to get into a company, you have that card, right? If that card should work, what is that they should do? You have already a card with you, but problem is that card should work, right? To make that card work, what is that security people
We need
has
a
to do?
permission or the
Yeah,
access.
exactly. Permission in sense in what there are so many groups under that. Okay, you are a employee. Somebody might be admin. Somebody might be some other supporting staff. Somebody might be some other cafeteria staff. You got it right. There might be multiple groups. You have to add your card to which group? They has to do that, right? We don't see all that, but they do that. You got it right, Revati.
Yes, I got it.
So that particular group, what is needed is for that is a HTTP. You can, somebody is asking a question, how about HTTPS? You can try that, delete. Just add HTTPS and see if you want to access it more secured way. HTTP, what do you know, right? What is difference between HTTP and HTTPS, right, delete? Right? So you just try to add that rule and test it. You might get something there. Understood now? What about just add that rule and test it, delete? That should be fine for you. And if any issue, we'll check back again, not a problem. Okay. So this is overall thing about EC2 instance. What I want is, could you please practice all this and come back to next week? Would you do that for me? Next week I will show you few more things like, playing around all this stuff. My humble request to all of you is, I need support from you also, even though we are doing volunteering. That interest from you helps me to come up with more information. Okay. But definitely the sessions will go seriously only. It's not like if it is volunteering in sense, it doesn't mean it is less than anything outside. Okay. And you can ask any number of doubts you want. Whatever I know, answer. If I don't know, we can we can come back with that again in the next session also. Okay. The idea is all of us should go with a very good hands-on experience with AWS. That's it, friends. Understood now? So only thing, prepare well, practice well, and come back to the sessions. That would be helpful. That's all. Okay, and also share this with your friends because it would be helpful for everyone. It's not like I am promoting. Generally, I hesitate to promote. But only thing I want to help people. That's all. Just
Okay, sir.
inform.
Could you please share that PDF as well in the group so then we can go through that as well.
Yeah, Harish. Yes, I'll share it. Already I shared it, but I will share one more time. Those who are joined new to the group. Okay. I shared
Thank you,
almost
sir.
all the PPT, PDF, everything, and I'll share everything again one more time, including recordings as well. You can go with that. Okay. Yeah, you get all that. Don't worry about it. I'll share